welcome to the Madcast Open 4, as sponsored by MadcastGaming.com. I am Madcast Sleifner. My in-game tag is just Sleifner. My name is Eric. Here shoutcasting with Sinchill. He can give you his info and possibly social security card.
Yeah, I'm going to give that away. Madcast
as we are getting ready for the No Risk for Biscuit versus 1650 or Bust game. No emphasis on bust. Just making the lobby right now, hoping to get underway very shortly here. We have a 17-team tournament going. I believe everyone is checked in. And right now, Sinchill is just checking on other things, doing all the admin duties that he must. Hopefully it'll be underway very shortly. The 1650 or Bust team is an all Madcast team most part, I believe. And with a little bit of bias, we have to pull for them. But we're hoping for a very good match, as both teams seem to be pretty evenly matched on their ELO as a whole. I think everyone's in the lobby right now.
Madcast. Flagmaster switched to room 4.
I'd advertise this link and whore myself out otherwise.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. I'm the greatest whore. And if you enjoy what you're watching, please feel free to join us on madcastgaming.com. Apply to be a candidate. It's a 1-month candidacy period, after which you can play all these sorts of awesome games with us, like Guild Wars 2, World of Warcraft, Miss Pandaria, cough cough, Team Fortress 2, PlanetSide 2, League of Legends, and other such games. Pretty cool community. Feel free to join and check us out. I might be a little nervous right now. I haven't done this in a month.
Well, you can practice.
Shut up, bro. So, Sinchill, what are the prizes today?
For prizes today, we have a $250 RP bundle, including a $20 RP card for each member of the first place team, plus a Triumphant Rise skin per each player. Second place, all members get $15 RP card. Third place is $10, and fourth place is $5 for each player. That's about it.
Okay. And as per usual, we have to plug Riot Games as well for supplying us with League of Legends and their awesome prize and player support. This is our fourth tournament in 5 months, I want to say. Our third and last 3. We're hoping to make these even bigger and better, so please tell your friends to come and we'll accommodate them. Ugh.
Gotta stretch those vocal muscles.
What can I say? My vocal muscles are all in my chest area.
Wow, that's some pretty, some deep vocal muscles.
Yo, don't even.
Shell joined the channel.
Okay, and we're underway.
Hey, quick question. Is
do it through PMs.
Godzilla joined the channel.
Sorry, I'll back out now.
The Clockster switched.
Godzilla I'm gonna move you guys down to an admin channel so you don't get interrupted like that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Shell switched to room 2.
First band down is Rengar. Second is
Madcast Toward
Alistair.
switched to Staff Lounge. You were moved to channel Staff Lounge by Madcast Toward. Madcast. Sleifner was moved to your channel.
Okay, we're all set.
Yep, I moved you guys. You're good.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. And our first band down is Rengar, followed by an Alistair ban and then a Darius. Looks like they're banning out all the top lane champions. I believe that Paul Leader right now is their main top lane champion, rather top lane player.
Yeah, actually, I've played a couple of games with these guys. It looks to me, normally, I Eat Fried Rice is going to be taking mid. ZG Boss tends to like his jungle. Epic, normally swings between top lane and AD carry, but I think Paul Leader is in that top lane position at the moment. They do like to switch it around every once in a while, but that's normally what they sit in. So
Looking at Paul Leader's match history, he does like playing Katarina a lot, but that might just be on proving grounds.
yeah, they do a lot of ARAMs.
They might be doing a lot of swapping around this game.
Yes.
Fourth ban down is Malphite, and the last ban is Skarner. Haven't seen that ban in a while.
Yeah, the
And
Skarner ban is
the last
definitely
ban is
something
Shen.
new.
Well, the Shen ban isn't.
Yeah, oh yeah, the Shen ban is not new. The Skarner ban is definitely aimed at ZG Boss. That is his favorite jungler. Um, I mean, these guys have definitely done their homework on 1650 or bust, but I mean, ZG Boss does. He enjoys his Skarner quite a bit. So
It looks
banning
like
that
just...
out. Say
Go
what?
ahead. I'm sorry, it's my fault. Go ahead.
Oh, so banning that out is just, it's a targeted ban. It's just something that they don't want to see ZG Boss have. Looks like the first pick is going to be Tarek here. Let's see if this actually gets locked in. Haven't
Obviously
seen
want
Tarek.
Backside Ignite.
Yeah, exactly.
Super carry.
I haven't seen Tarek in a lot of competitive play lately. He's kind of fallen off after his little spree of popularity a few months back. Uh, I would
Well, he
kind of like to see
fluctuates
him.
because Sona has been picking up a lot of steam again. Soraka's been falling off a little bit, and they've been going with a lot of the kill lane supports like Blitzcrank. Surprised that hasn't been first picked.
Yeah,
Looks
actually, I
like
was
we have...
um I was actually expecting a Blitzcrank ban here, but they going with the good solid bands that they don't want to see any global presence or any massive crowd control. So they pick up Lee Sin for the jungle and a Soraka support to try to stop whatever aggression that the enemy team is going to be pulling out with this Taric and with their AD that they should be picking here.
Like they're swapping over to that Ezreal from the Soraka. One of the top 3 AD carries in the game, if not the best AD carry, if not Graves is. So
Um,
going for a lot of hard hitters right now. With Lee Sin and jungle obviously very safe, very good ganks, pretty nice bruising ability. Could possibly see a Sona support going with that, if not and a Blitzcrank as we've been talking about. Um, no risk or biscuit now locking in wanting to lock in the Udyr for the jungle. Good counter jungling ability, really safe as well. Pretty decent ganks.
I think what they're doing here is they're just trying to be able to fight against the Lee Sin so that Udyr can stand his own against Lee Sin. He could head into Lee Sin's jungle and fight him a little bit without having to worry about, you know, being taken out in his own jungle. Udyr's one of the stronger, tankier jungles, and that's something that Lee Sin has some trouble with early game.
And we have that Udyr pick locked in as well as the Corki pick.
Yeah,
Now
so
we should
this
probably
is what
now we should
I
see the support, and we should probably see the AP mid picked.
I think what they're going to do here is they're going to pick the support in the mid. Um, they definitely need that Soraka as far as what their support is. Uh, the Taric Corki combo has always been really strong, but it's it's proven, but it's also known, right? Like people have been playing against this combo for quite a while. You
It
know,
can be
it
broken down by
it
the
can be
harder
broken
sustain that
down.
it has, as well as the fact that Soraka will add that armor buff onto Ezreal. The only thing that could have possibly been better with the Soraka then would have been Graves, because True Grit with Soraka heal armor bonus would have made him incredibly tanky for an AD carry down bot lane. And we have that Soraka and the Morgana locked in.
And
Looks like
we
we have
get a
that
quick
Anivia
pick
going
on
to counter that.
Anivia. This
That'll be
actually
interesting.
looks to be one of those farming mid lanes where they're gonna focus on the farm in mid
And a
lane,
Jax
keep it
instant
even.
locked.
Yeah, and then they're gonna look to roam elsewhere. So we're not gonna see a lot of action in mid. They're two very very safe champions who focus mostly on that farm. So I don't
All
know.
leader going for the Cho'Gath against the Jax. I like that pick.
I like it as well. Cho'Gath's actually been picking up a lot of steam again lately.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
died
and I
off at the
hate
end
that.
of season one, and now that he's got his quality of life buff and also the
A more stable casting ability
yeah
on
the
his Q.
stability on his Q and
Rupture.
his E, um, he's been picking steam up again and really shown that he's a really strong champion, or has been. They just let him
He's
die
just
out a
been
little bit.
repurposed lately as to that jungle role thanks to Hotshot GG, where most Cho'Gaths you see now actually kind of go 50-50 between jungling and top lane, where he almost used to be exclusively top lane. And we have the swap going down with Joshua Pena going with the Jax pick up top, Google taking Tarek support down bot, and Johano taking Corki down bot. No swaps done on 50 except swapping the Ezreal with the Soraka, obviously.
So
Ezreal taking cleanse, that will be pretty nice to have down bot lane with 2 stuns coming at you if there's jungle gank.
yeah, exactly.
And actually,
This team comp actually for No Risk for Biscuit is actually extremely CC heavy.
very center based.
Yeah, there's a stun from Jax, there's a stun from Tarek, there's a stun from Udyr, and there's also a skill shot stun and a wall displacement from Anivia. So there's going to be a lot of control for No Risk for Biscuit. I kind of, there's a little less here from 1650 or bust, but they don't look like there's either, there's a solid advantage via team comp for either team here. What do you think?
Well, I think I find the best counter to actually the entirety of No Risk for Biscuit's team is actually Ezreal taking cleanse. Because as we know, cleanse has a safety window after you pop it where you can't be stunned or CC down again. All the members of No Risk for Biscuit only have one form of CC per champion except for Corki. So he doesn't have to worry about dodging, 3 or 4 different CC, unlike Jax versus Cho'Gath, where there's 2 to dodge there, or even the Morgana has 2 CC as well. Um, Lee Sin technically has 2 because you have the slow, but you have this massive knockback. I like the Morgana pick on their team because it takes the very AoE centered team that Novus for Business has, and it makes them have to disperse. Because if she
Yes.
drops down the ult, then everything kind of becomes a very a very shaky situation there with only Corki having major mobility. Um, the Soraka pick could go either way. She does tend to fall off later game simply because cooldowns catch up with her and her scaling isn't quite as good as well as the utility she has in team fight. But I think what they have is more of that mid game dominance type of champion, top type of team comp rather. So I could see this game maybe going 35 minutes. Um, Anivia, as we've already gone over with the lane matchups, Anivia and Morgana is a very safe farming lane. Jax versus Cho'Gath is another very safe farming lane in favor of Cho'Gath because he can pack on a lot of harass. He has a lot of sneaky harass, especially if you take a Wit's End on him.
Yeah,
You
and they're
know?
both really champions that need to farm. All right,
Yeah.
so if they do decide to do what they do and just farm, it's going to look very, very safe and top. But at the same time, I think Jax gets going a little bit slower than Cho'Gath does. So Cho'Gath could possibly get the advantage for his team in top lane because of that.
Well, the biggest difference we have there is lane stability and be able to recover off of engagements. Cho'Gath, we know his passive. At level 1, it recovers from 34 health per minion last hit, and I think 7.5 mana. But that's a big deal when you're talking early lane matchup, but before you get a lot of the items there. Um, the jungling matchup could go either way. If we do see a level 1 invade, I think that No Risk for Biscuit has the stronger level 1 invade team, simply because they could have 4 forms of CC right out the gate. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly. Um, I think as far as level one goes, it's definitely in favor of no risk for biscuit. Um, it could possibly end up in favor of 1650 or bust based on, what, if somebody gets caught out, obviously it's gonna change that. But I think generally they're gonna have to watch out for the invade into 1650 or busts jungle.
Past that level 1 invade, though, the first Dragon's card is probably going to be a really big turning point here, because if the team, whoever wins that first big team fight, I think, may go on to win the game. Nova Biscuit only has to really withstand to the late game because they have a Nivea, which has ridiculous late game potential. They have Corky, again, a lot of late game, and Jax, when he itemizes, is ridiculously strong. Morgana, late game, she falls off into, you're just an ult and a snare type of deal. Cho'Gath is always kind of there, but he can only do so much. Ezreal will scale very hard, but Soraka will fall off. And then Lee Sin, he kind of floats in between. He has to get, a lot of good plays in his favor for his team. I think if this game goes like to that 45-minute mark, I think No Risk for Biscuit will pull it out. But we'll have to see how it works out in the early game.
I think the key thing, what they're going to have to do, as far as 1650 or bust is concerned, they're going to have to shut down Ezreal, and they're going to have to shut down Morgana. Ezreal, not so much. Morgana, definitely. If they can't shut Morgana down, they're going to have issues in team fights, whether it's 20 minutes in or 40 minutes in, because that Morgana is going to hurt.
The earliest team fight we can see at like level 6 is going to be a big deal because Morgana will have her ult. If she can lock down 2 or 3 people, that's almost like, that's practically an early game ace. And we're in game. We have both teams favoring the boots and pots route, except for our supports taking the usual fairy charm, ward, and pot now. We have 1650 or bus looking to get ready for that invade on the Wraith camp, while we have No Risk or Biscuit possibly setting up for an invade of their own on the Golem to Wraith camp, to Red camp. So it looks like we might have a counter invade strategy going on here. That'll be interesting.
So what we see is
Everyone's gonna be losing a
1650 is
red
all,
buff.
ready to invade on No Risk for Biscuits red. There is a ward in No Risk for Biscuits red area, so they will know if that is invaded. No Risk for Biscuit also invading. Looks like 1650 is just gonna go ahead and back off. They're gonna sit, chill, get their blue, be safe. They don't want to have anything super aggressive right now, because they know that their level 1 is a little bit weaker as far as CC and damage is concerned.
We might be able to expect a... No Risk for Biscuit is getting really aggressive right now, sitting in the top area of the jungle. If Lee Sin comes across, he's going to have a really bad day, but if they get caught, they might lose a bit of experience. Okay, we have Corky here recalling. He's going to get back in the lane really fast so he doesn't miss much CS. Udir's now taking the Wraith camp, and Lee Sin is taking his Wolves.
So they are going to get this. They're going to take his red. Lee Sin is probably going to try and invade. What they've done here is they've warded their red, so they expect that Lee Sin is going to try to invade that red, try to get in there, and they're going to stop it. They're going to try and stop it with that ward and with bottom lane coming up.
We have Cho, who's already dropped in. Cho could get ganked very early here, as Udyr could come around this.
So yeah, exactly what they thought was going to happen. Lee Sin is hopping into their red. He grabbed his blue, grabbed his wolves, and now he's popped into the red. Yeah. So
but
they know
he will
he's there.
pick up without much trouble, it seems. As Udyr's coming around, and Nivea is coming down to follow this. Morgana's coming down as well. They all know that there's something going on with this red buff.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pull his flash out of this, or he, perfectly
And Lee
timed.
Sin will just go into Dragon.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Lee Sin is just such a safe counter jungler when it comes to that kind of thing, especially early, unless you were really on top of him right as soon as he gets there, and they just didn't react quick enough. Looks like we have a little bit of brawling top lane.
I feel that bot is going to be our much more our dynamic lane as far as kills and ganks go, as we have a little harass going down between our top laners, our boozes. Stun goes down onto Ezreal. Ezreal not having any damage really done to him as Soraka pops off a heal, giving him that armor buff. We could have a gank coming up top lane as Lee Sin comes around and into the river bush. There is no ward down, so Jax doesn't know this is coming. Lee Sin pops into the lane. He shields off onto a minion, misses his Q. Jax gets knocked up, and Jax will leap out of there, gets exhausted.
Oh, the exhaust comes out. Flash Bulldog. They're going to go ahead and pull the stun on this, and First Blood does go to Lee Sin. Under the tower, they did get that with the Ignite.
Jax tried to get the Counter-Strike down, but as he was doing so, he had an Ignite dropped on him, and he just couldn't get out of the way of the Lee Sin kick. Lee Sin picking up that kill. That was a very unique play for early game.
Yeah, it was actually very nice.
It was very nice.
So we do have our First Blood come out to 1650 or bust.
With Lee Sin picking up that kill, so he's going to be able to race into that, into his Wriggles or into his Heart of Gold incredibly fast. He could probably survive now even.
Alright, looks like we're going to have another gank here coming on mid this time. Oh, he does pull his Q, and that looks like it'll be...
Anivia will just flash out there with the slightest bit of health.
So she barely does not get her egg used. It looks like Lee Sin is going to go ahead and counter jungle a little bit, but there's nothing there to get.
No, he might just try to kick across his turret.
Yeah, they do know he's there. The ping came out onto him, so they do know that Lee Sin was in that area. So Udyr is ready.
Udyr coming around onto the Morgana. The stun goes down her, but she pops a Black Shield. As Anivia gets egg from a Lee Sin Q. Anivia getting taken down pretty hard. Anivia going down to a Morgana auto attack as well as that the pool. A very nice play by 1650 or bust that we're seeing early on, right?
Yes, very nice play. Counter gank the counter gank. Exactly what they just did.
I don't know. There may be more counter ganks in there than just that.
Counter gank. Yo, dog, we heard you like counter ganking.
Counter gankception central. Ezreal is putting on a bit of harass down the bot lane. They are pushing pretty nicely onto Carrick and Corki, but that's what the Ezreal free damage does when he doesn't even have to worry about pushing minions.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with that W on Ezreal, it not only does damage through minions onto the champions, but it also reduces their attack speed. So, he's maxing that out first. So it's going to be extremely hard for Corki to re-harass, harass back onto him, especially with that range on the W and him hiding behind his minions.
Up top lane, we have Cho'Gath applying a nice bit of harass on the Jax as he can just scream at him all day. Probably about to hit level 6 here. In fact, he's only about a minion kill away from hitting level 6 and he becomes really tanky. Lee Sin gonna back up. Lee Sin has an Oracles already. That's gonna be detrimental. As
And
Anivia
it looks
gets
like
more
mid.
harass, piles onto our mid.
It looked like we were going to see a tower dive here down at mid, but Morgana did back off of the
It's swapping up the
Anivia.
top lane as Jax and Udyr are piling on some harass on the Cho'Gath. The Ignite did go down Cho'Gath, didn't get him down. He can start recovering everything he lost now as he starts chugging pots. Udyr is around behind him. Udyr's coming under this turret. The Ignite goes down into Jax. Jax gets feasted on. Tower is now onto Udyr. The tower won't take down Udyr, but Cho does pick up that Jax kill with a nice knock-up and feast combo.
Looks like we did have an invade bottom. Lee Sin came into the tri-bush there and nearly got caught out, but bottom lane did react quite well and get back into that.
The Morgana also applying a lot of harass onto the Anivia, dropping her down to under half health with just a QW combo. Looks like the Lee Sin might come around on this. Nope, just going right into blue buff, gonna probably hand it off into Morgana.
I'm actually really surprised that Anivia isn't using the classic trick that most Anivias use with her Q, which is to come around the corner on the side of the lane where the wall is, by the ramp, and then throw the Q from Fog of War into the enemy. He hasn't been doing that, so it's been really easy for the Morgana here to dodge his Qs.
Jack's gonna be onto this Morgana. The Black Shield comes down, but it's just about off.
Toward times out.
Anivia just gonna clear out this wave as Cho'Gath does push onto this tower up top. He does have a bit of tankiness to deal with his Jax now, as Jax is also a level under him.
Looks like
And
1650 your bust's bottom lane. Mr. Epic and Slowman running, going back. Going to go ahead and buy for the first time here. Let's see
looks
what
like
they're going to pick
1650
up.
Bus is really taking that early game advantage into account. All their raw damage. Udyr coming across mid lane, dropping it off in the jungle. There's nothing that's going to happen there. Anivia is starting to catch up on her CS though, as she does have her ult to clear out waves. And Cho'Gath and Jax is just a little staring contest right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I expected. Top lane is going to either be one person just gets the outright lead in the beginning,
Well, with Cho'Gath
or they'll
having
just sit there and farm.
the Lee Sin is coming up and around on this Jax. There was no ward in that river, as Lee Sin does have Oracle. Jax pops his Counter-Strike and hits no one with it as he just tries to retreat under tower. Morgana's coming up for this too. They could go for a tower dive. Anivia is on blue buff. There goes down onto Golem as Lee Sin ults away the Udyr with Shackles on him as Morgana picks up the kill on the second proc. Now Jax is in trouble as he gets cornered up by Cho'Gath and by everyone as he gets knocked up.
Extremely nice.
Feast gonna come in for the kill? No, he flashes out. He could get out of this. He jumps to a minion. Oh, that minion saving his life.
Madcast
That jump
Tour joined the
definitely
channel.
saving his life there.
But Morgana did pick up the blue buff, stealing it away from Anivia. Anivia's gonna be way behind on this.
Yeah, she already actually really is. There's a
Well,
huge minion discrepancy as far as farm goes, and with 2 kills on Morgana, this Anivia is really behind.
and with losing the blue buff, that's just a really bad
Yeah,
day.
it's just insult to injury at this point. Looks like we got a little aggression bottom. Both teams backing off a little bit,
We
deciding
have
not
Morgana going
to.
in on the Anivia throwing her wall to save her life as the snare misses. This is not looking to be as even a matchup as we thought on mid lane. With
Yeah, it was
Fried Rice
actually
doing a very good job of keeping the Anivia harassed under her turret the entire time.
I was actually
Basically distracting
expecting
Udyr.
the farming that they've been doing. Not so much Anivia. Anivia somehow has fallen behind, but I think that's going to catch up here once they hit level 11.
On bot lane, we have 3 people coming in as the Ezreal uh, Arcane shifts in. A lot of damage going down Lee Sin, but that gets nullified by the Soraka ult.
Now Udyr's here. He's going to counter
No,
gank.
never mind. Soraka ult is still up. Ignite goes down to Lee Sin. Lee Sin shields out. Corki damage still going down. Lee Sin drops to Ignite. Udyr gets ulted, but the Ezreal will just barely get out of there.
Cleansing.
Corki picks up the kill under turret from a big missile.
Very
And
nice
extra
shot
damage
from
just
Corki there.
dropping.
That was very well played. Ezreal did cleanse the Ignite there at the end, but that Corki getting his skill shots down, doing what he needed to do.
Grim is telling you to put your game into window mode because it's messing up your stream.
It is in windowed mode.
Anyway, up top lane we have Cho'Gath still applying a lot of harass onto the Jax. He is currently ahead by 12 CS and a kill as he just puts the feast down on a minion.
Got to
Jax
get
just may
those
not be able
stacks
to,
up.
Jax just may not be able to deal with Cho this early.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was saying before the game started. They're both champions that really, really, really shine late game. But Cho'Gath tends to get going a little bit quicker than Jax. So if they can push that advantage right now,
The tower coming
then
around on this
they'll be
Morgana on
good.
mid lane. As the stun goes down, but the Black Shield comes up first, nullifying that stun. The wall comes down. Morgana flashes over the wall, tries to turn around, retaliate on the Starix. Nothing doing there.
Huh. The-
Really, lots of roaming going on early.
Yeah, extreme amounts of roaming. And I think that's actually what's been winning mid for 1650 or bust is the fact that Morgana has been roaming successfully. It hasn't just been, oh, she's roaming down to bottom, they
No, she just
almost
picks
got
up
a
the blue.
kill. she's been successfully getting kills in other lanes. So I mean that changes the whole flow of a lane when a champion can go into another lane and pick up that advantage and then come back with it.
Not to mention Morgana picking up that kill on Udyr and just forcing Anivia out completely. That just says a lot about your lane presence right there. As we have an Udyr possibly coming down. No, he's just on his red right now. He might come down to this bot lane after. Raka throwing a pink ward into the dry brush. Still not quite as much damage as I'd expect from Ezreal early though. As he does have his phage though. On mid lane, we have Morgana dropping down her stun onto Anivia again, and then dropping a pull into her, dropping her down to half health as Anivia just does all she can to stop that assailant. Throwing another stun. Snare goes down onto Anivia, but Morgana won't chase under tower. Dropping a pull down instead, dropping Anivia down to 200 health. Lee Sin might come around on this on next try. As on bot lane, we have 1650 or bust push under the turret. I guess what's trying to go on there is no risk for Biscuit just wants to open up the lane pressure to top and mid, and not have to worry about bot lane.
And mid, Morgana dives all the way through,
And
eggs the Anivia, and it looks like she also takes the blue on her way out.
He does take the
So they
blue as
do
Lee
counter
Sin puts
jungle the
that down
blue
to
there
4
on
health.
the way out. So they get the egg on Anivia and get the blue.
Lee
Very
Sin
well
comes in on the
played.
Jax. Lee Sin punts out the Jax, but then Qs to a minion. Jax flashing out of the Cho'Gath rupture, so he does not go down again. Udyr coming up possibly for a lane gank here to just help out the Jax. Jax just not having a very good day. As the sun goes down onto Cho'Gath, Udyr's trying to come in as fast as he can off the bear stance. Flashes. Will he get the stun off in time? And no.
Morgana jumping in back on Anivia again. Looks like she's just bullying her right out of lane.
We know that Anivia does not have her egg up, not for 5 minutes. While the Morgana ult is down, but still, not having the egg is a bigger deal. As Jax just pile onto this Cho'Gath, the Cho'Gath pops his rupture, pops his silence, pops ignite. Wish goes down onto Cho'Gath, so he's got the full advantage. Feasts the Jax and kills him. What a delicious alien baby.
Yes, that was very. I don't know. I mean, I kind of
Anivia
predicted
getting dropped
this.
to a snare and ignite and pool. There's not much that Anivia can do at all. Even the Udyr getting dropped down dangerously from a single snare.
Yeah,
Paragon
it
toward
does not
Dragon.
look like they're having fun with the mid lane right now.
There hasn't been any dragon pressure yet, surprisingly.
Yeah, I don't think that they've been able to even, as far as no risk for biscuit goes, they haven't been able to even put pressure on mid or bot really to get into that dragon. So, and I don't think they feel like they could get a good solid team fight at the moment. So they've been trying to avoid it. I'm not sure why 1650 has not been going for it, but I'm gonna assume that they've been wanting to pressure their ganks and their early advantage.
Well, Lee Sin has just been everywhere so far. Although Lee Sin did lose his Oracle that he bought early. As he just walks by a ward.
Oh, he knows it's there.
Oh, he knows.
He knows.
Top turret did go down in favor of 1650 or bust in favor of Cho'Gath. As the Jax tries to retaliate and push onto his turret.
Looks like we might see a double gank here in mid.
Ganks on ganks on ganks.
Ganks on ganks on ganks. Both junglers in the area, looking to do the same thing. Lee Sin does show himself though, so that solidifies Udyr's presence there.
Cho'Gath does have the recurve bow now, meaning that E is going to deal a lot of damage. Very sneaky bad way. As on bot lane, we still have a lot of pressure going on under this turret. I don't know, I think at this point that No Risk or Biscuit could set them up very dangerously down bot lane, as there hasn't been much harass going on down there. but just a lot of pushing.
The reaction time from Mr. Epic right there to get his Essence Flux off before the stun hit him. Or Arcane Shift, sorry. Before the stun actually hit him and, you know, proc the
We have
ability.
Cho'Gath coming in on the Anivia, dropping down a Q. He's probably gone Beaster for the win, and he does. As Morgana just tanks the turret and just doesn't care at all. So tanky here, so much damage potential, and pure level advantage in favor of 1650 or bust. As they can just pile on the harass down bot lane as Tarek had to roam to put down a ward.
And Cho'Gath just turns that kill mid right into a red steal. So they're going to be counter jungling.
Red team's turret has been
The
destroyed.
top turret does fall in favor of No Risk for Biscuit, possibly their only good point so far. As Tarek just put a ward down on his red bush, but it's not going to mean anything. He might have dragon pressure coming very shortly, but the Jax continues to push it on that top lane, taking advantage of how long Cho's been away for.
He's about to get in for a nasty surprise here. If he doesn't get back.
Lost.
And there he goes. Cho'Gath's looking for him. He has tasted blood. He smells it in the water. And he's
tasted it about 3 times.
He wants it. He wants more. He's still hungry. He's got room for a couple more stacks.
Belly isn't full yet.
Oh, he is full.
But
But
the
he's
Jax
got room.
does recall. As Cho'Gath can just continue to push and bully this lane down. He does have his red buff too, so any gank that comes in on him, he can just turn around and just smack you once and walk away.
I'm really actually surprised that there hasn't been more ganks bottom from 1650 or bust. It seems like the lane has been pushed into the tower quite often.
We have a confrontation going on the blue buff. Udyr just dropping everything he has, and Ivy dropping everything she has, and Cho'Gath just flashed over the wall with half health, just not caring anymore. We could have a very heavy push onto this mid turret. Jack's coming around on this. He could possibly catch Cho'Gath out.
Slain the dragon.
As Purple takes the dragon for free.
Yes, they do get the free dragon from Cho'Gath's manliness at blue. If you can call it manliness.
Well, his beetleness wasn't even there.
It looks like Cho'Gath's going to be coming in from behind onto No Risk for Biscuit's bottom lane. Corki's Valkyrie does get interrupted, and it looks like Corki might be going down here. No, the flash comes out. Q misses from Lee Sin. Rupture gets off on Cho'Gath, and he does pick up the kill. Looks like Tarek's going to go ahead and drop 2. Yep, Cho'Gath does get the feast off.
Oh, this turret is going to go down a very bad way. There's nothing Udyr can do. He should just walk away. They know the drugs, Udyr. As the mid turret also goes down at the same time. Anivia just can't hold against this Morgana anymore, even though she does have quite a bit of burstiness. Her combo did drop Morgana down to about half. But the Morgana snare is just overpowering right now. Does have a needlessly large rod rushing into that Zanya's Hourglass. Anivia, meanwhile, only has a little bit of magic resist and a Kali is configured to service her ability power. And her ult goes down on Anivia. The Jax coming in. The egg does go down on Anivia, but the Jax is still on this Morgana. If Morgana can turn around and snare, she'll be okay. But Lee Sin coming in, she gets the snare off onto Jax. Lee Sin saving the day by punting them both away. That was very shaky for Morgana.
Very well played, though. She knew what she had to do to get out, and she just did it. Very well played on her part. And Jax jumps in back onto Morgana again, but Black Shield.
Under turret and just walking away.
Black Shield. Looks like Lee Sin might be getting caught here.
The bush gets stunned by the Anivia, gets stunned by the Jax. Oh, he just dodged the snare by Jax, actually. Udyr coming up just a little bit too late. But that will force Lee Sin back into base. As they are applying as much pressure as they can to this mid lane. Cho'Gath coming around this too. Cho'Gath just defending the turret, I think. That was a very shady play as Lee Sin just entered that bush, not knowing anything,
I was
as the
actually
Anivia is just about to
100%
recall.
expecting him to die.
I was as well.
Um, he
But the
had no
Morgana
ult.
did get the black shield down.
He had no ult. His cooldowns had just gone off because he'd thrown his Q out to check the bush before he walked into it. And so I thought for sure he was down, but very nice play done by him to throw that ward out and get out of there. Um, well played.
A lot for us going down to Ezreal down bot. That turret is probably
A
going to
summoner
fall at this
has
point
disconnected.
as the Jax
Red
disconnects.
team's turret has been destroyed.
So they do take bottom turret uh, pretty safely. Ezreal does not want to mess with Corki right now. They have been pretty even lately, but Corki has been bursting a lot more than the Ezreal. So he
I'm
knows
expecting the
that he's
pause to
out
go
of...
down any second here, but there just isn't any yet.
Say what?
I'm expecting pause to go down any moment, but there hasn't yet because the Jax has disconnected. Even though 1650 or Bus doesn't know this yet, well, as the Ezreal is going to take another free red buff.
They do jump in on Anivia in mid, but she does wall to save herself and get out of there.
Only
Uh,
3 bars of health left. Her egg is down again.
Looks like Udyr is going to chase them out. They are going to man up. Udyr getting a little bit out of position there and getting caught by the entire enemy team. Looks like they're going to go ahead and push this one out and try to get this mid tower.
They could probably pick up Baron immediately after this if they want to.
I think what they're going to try to do is get a decent team fight here and then pull Baron. Looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Cho'Gath does pick up Anivia with the feast, nearly getting Corki with the rupture.
Yummy chicken.
No. Yummy frozen chicken. It looks like they're going to back out. They're going to clear the enemy jungle, and it looks like they might be going to the blue and just saying, we don't need Baron. It's not time yet.
Still no reconnect from the Jax, so right now it is still a 4v5, but not one of those good 4v5s where it's kind of even. 1650 or Bus just exuberating their advantage, pushing it down their throats.
Looks like Ezreal's going to go ahead and pick up his blue. Cho'Gath's going to go ahead and back out for the time being. They're going to go ahead and buy and see what they can do.
Overall, this game has just been so heavily favored in the laning phase by 1650 or Bus, as we can see now with 11 kills to 3. They are up a dragon as well, as only one dragon if I recall. Items just in their full advantage as well. Ezreal having a Bloodthirster to his Phage, and Cho'Gath nearly at that full tankiness. And there's the pause. That
And out
probably
comes
should
the
have happened a while
pause.
ago.
Yeah, I think they just were trying to figure out how, I guess. The chat does come out. They're saying they were just waiting for the Jax.
No, apparently they
A
forgot about
summoner has
pause.
reconnected.
And now he reconnects. So we'll be getting back into it in a second here.
Very nice. Very nice.
So friendly. As it does pick back up, Ezreal picking up this red buff, or he's letting Lee Sin have it because he took the enemy red buff.
I think actually Cho'Gath's going to pick that one up.
That is aggressive.
Very.
The Corki's dealing a bit of damage on the Lee Sin just from that true damage. And they are going to pick up this dragon with no resistance from No Risk or Biscuit.
Red team has slain the dragon.
As Jax is floating up top, trying to catch up on his farm, trying to catch up on his levels. Togath just bullying off mid lane, not caring in the world. Over Biscuit does know that the entirety of the team is coming up to them as they did pass through ward. Parrot dropping another one defensively as Jax will try to push down this top lane turret. But all of 1650 Bus is on this mid lane. If they don't do something very quickly, this Jax might push into the inhibitor.
It looks like Cho'Gath's gonna head up there. Oh no, he does turn
Well, they
around.
should. The Ezreal will clear out the mini wave as best he can, getting all but three minions, but one of the main cannon minion. This Jax can deal a lot of damage onto this
They do end up diving in mid.
base turret.
ZG Boss falls dangerously low, but he does get out of tower range and he's safe. They are pushing them right off the tower here. It looks like they're going to go ahead and get this free tower here.
Being on the totem for this long is very dangerous, but
Cho'Gath does
keep
eat
going
the
down.
Gem Knight again. Why would you eat rocks?
Well, when you have a Guardian Angel, all arguments are nullified.
Yes. Anivia does pull out the combo on Morgana. Jax comes in. He gets another turret. Looks like he's going to be getting this inhibitor. Lee Sin does pull out the kill on Corki. Does look like he's going to get Anivia as well. He drops two Anivia in the turret, and Ezreal does pick up Udyr. Looks like
Jax picks up the inhibitor, just going solo base warrior. As the attack respawns, the Ezreal is gonna pick up the inhibitor as well. But the advantage has been nullified now as they're both down inhibitor. That just opens up a lot with more being opened up in favor of Novus for Biscuit.
looks like Ezreal might get caught out here by the Taric. Yes, it looks like he is going to be caught out here. But he does get away. The rest of No Risk for Biscuit wasn't in the area. They had a little bit of a communication issue there, and it let Ezreal get away.
Looks like No Risk for Biscuit wants to check up this Baron. They might try to sneak it, in fact, as they have all the ward coverage. And they do. They are trying to go for this Baron. Morgana coming in and around. She gets caught by the Anivia stun. Trying to pop the Black Shield. She's blocked up by the Anivia Ice Wall. Morgana could just pop her own right now. But she gets burnt down instead from the pure burst. Udyr on this Cho'Gath just being fully down by their team.
Looks like they are going to try to finish the Corki or the Lee Sin off. Anivia picking up 2 kills there after being so far behind for so long is finally starting to catch her drift.
And they picked up the Jax kill, but for 4, I think the biggest misplay here may have been sticking around mid lane too long, letting Jax push in that inhibitor. And looks like No Risk for Biscuit will just pick up this Baron for free.
You never know, you can have that random sideways Baron steal that comes out of Ezreal. But it does look like they do pick it up and nearly picking up Ezreal at the same time.
That just, wow. Pure turnaround on this game as we have approached late game. 32 minutes in. With Novus and Biscuit picking up the first Baron, while the base turret push is in favor of 50 or bust. Very interesting, wouldn't you say?
Actually, you know what? I kind of, like I said, I was expecting a game like this. Cho'Gath needed to push his advantage a little bit more. I think that they stayed in lane too long and let Anivia farm up. They let Jax get his items, farm up, and you know you can't do that against those kind of champions. Where Anivia is really strong late game, whereas Morgana kind of hits her prime right around like level 10, 11. So
The Soraka also falling off now, as all she can really do is heal you twice, maybe silence a person, then just try to drop the magic resist.
and it kind of played the Soraka pick kind of played against 1650 or bust because when you pick a safe support like that, you are saying that you're going to take a longer game, right? And a longer game is exactly what No Risk for Biscuit wanted. They had Anivia, they have Jax, they have Corki. These are champions that shine late game.
And right now we can see the burst coming out from Anivia as she just drops Rocket down to half health on her own. Limited engagement going on around this dragon, but 1650 tier boss doesn't want to really engage on this as they don't have Baron. As far as items go, we do have an Ezreal who has finished his Trinity Force, but the Cho'Gath, his GA is down for a bit.
Cho'Gath he's just trying to get his stacks back at the moment. He's going to be roaming, trying to finish up minion waves and get the stacks back. Because right now, the last thing that they need is a half strength Cho'Gath. Especially with that health steroid, they need it there. So
Looks like as the inhibitors start to respawn, but looks like Nova Service is going to get a free dragon for the first time in this game. They do wall off the Morgana. The Morgana flashes over just in time. But Corki's still piling on some damage onto her. Is the Lee Sin gonna decide to... Nope, Lee Sin's just gonna clear out the wards. Really, the ward control has been in favor of No Risk for Biscuit since about the 17-minute mark. Even during the Baron push, the only wards that 1650 or Bus had were down in the bottom half of the jungle.
it looked like Teemo Shrooms in the bottom half of the jungle for 1650 or bust, but what they needed was the Teemo Shrooms in the top half of the jungle. So
Particularly around that Baron.
yeah, and right now they do have quite a bit of ward coverage in their own jungle, and they do have some aggressive wards by Baron, but it's a little too late. A little too little, too late.
But
So
this Baron buff should be about wearing off on No Risk for Biscuit. Not really being able to do much with it, surprisingly. I thought they could have pushed down the mid or bot turret, just split it.
I think what they're thinking right now is because they were losing team fights and they were losing earlier on, they got into the mentality where now they need to be a little bit more safe with how they're playing.
Ezreal getting dropped down to a third of his health off of a simple Anivia Q to E combo. As Morgana Snare does miss the Taric, but that shouldn't be your target anyway, as it should only be to the carries. Cho'Gath is now trying to race down mid lane as fast as he can before a dive goes down here. Ezreal might have to use his ult to clear out the wave. Just complete reversal of what we saw earlier. The gold gap now closing from what was a 7,000 advantage in favor of 1650 bus to only a 3,000.
Yeah, and honestly, when games start getting longer like this, that gold advantage becomes less and less and less. So at this point in the game, as long as they're within like 5,000 gold, either team can win this. Uh, I mean, it it is a 100% toss-up at the moment because the early game advantages weren't really taken advantage of as much as they could have been.
However,
And
the team fight now is back to being equalized as Baron is gone. Both inhibitors are up, and the Cho'Gath, his Guardian Angel's back up as well. We could see Ezreal racing to a Guardian Angel next, but he might be favoring the Infinity Edge instead.
it looks like
Bit
he is
surprised
going
with
to be
that.
getting the Infinity Edge. He's got the pickaxe already. He was going probably for an Infinity Edge right off the bat there, but getting harassed like that, he needed to get the extra lifesteal so he could pick up the end of Bloodthirster.
I'm actually surprised he isn't instead going for a Quicksilver Sash or a Banshee's Veil, as most of the hard hitting on No Risk for Biscuit is a magic base. As the snare does go down an Udyr, dropping him down a third of his health. We just have an Oracle fight going on right now as Baron is going to be back in about 2 minutes. Aggressing, counter-aggressing. If Morgana can land a snare on someone. They're just probably going to engage on that, especially if it's Corki or Nivea.
I think what 1650 or Bus wants to do right now is they're looking at that bottom tower and drooling. Uh, they've been hovering around it for the last three or so minutes. They just have not committed to anything. I think they really, really want that tower, but they don't want the team fight that might come with it. Because their mindset right now is they're going to lose a team fight. They do not want a 5-on-5 because Anivia is doing a fantastic job of separating their team. So,
However, she is getting a bit of damage dealt to her as she does get hit by both the Dark Binding and the Pool. We could see a hard push come into this bot turret now as the wave is coming in. And another Dark Binding goes down, this time onto Corki, getting dropped down to half health. Udyr counter-aggressing onto the Cho'Gath. The snare, the stun from Nivea rather just missing, only getting Lee Sin. And they already cleared out the wave. Dark Binding going down again onto Anivia as she gets dropped down to only a fourth for health. And a fourth Dark Binding goes down to Anivia. As
looks
the
like this
Ezreal
is going to be the engage.
as the Anivia is in her egg. They're trying to engage onto this Corki, but he just gets out of there. Anivia's back up. She could potentially turn this around as Cho'Gath does feast on the Corki. The Morgana getting dropped down by the Jax. His damage is on field now. Cho'Gath Guardian Angel's getting popped. I don't think he's going to make it out here alive. Nope. And he drops two. Everyone jumping on him after he respawns.
So what happened there was they got baited by the classic Anivia egg. Anivia got low. They all thought this is a kill. So they ran in trying to get that kill. Anivia eggs. And they couldn't finish it.
And no Risker Biscuit going again for a free Baron, as only Ezreal is left to fend for it. Baron really turning this game around.
Baron does tend to do that.
Well, yes.
Either, I mean, the buff either solidifies a victory, or, I mean, if the enemy team that's behind can catch it quickly, it can turn a game instantly. It's not only that, well, especially for a team that feels like it's losing, getting Baron is not just the buff. It's not just, okay, you got this super cool buff that now you're ready to fight. It's that mental boost, right? Like, we just stole this from these guys who were beating us. So we've got to be doing something right? So let's just keep doing that.
I'm afraid that that 1650 or bust has hit the point where everything that they have is cooldown based. You know, you don't have a lot of sustained damage from Morgana. Obviously, from neither AP carry do you have that. You don't have a lot of auto attack damage coming down from Ezreal. He's going to be using his cooldowns to try and utilize that Sheen proc. Lee Sin is also the same case where he's practically an AD caster. Meanwhile, you have Jax and Udyr and Corki just laying down the auto attacks on the 60-50 bus in every team fight. Looks like this mid turret's gonna be the next victim to fall. Well, something else surprising, the Cho'Gath has decided to build a Trinity Force instead of the Rod of Ages route.
I've actually seen that quite often lately. To build the AD route.
Getting caught up by the Morgana snare, but then they turn around to nuke Morgana, nuking down the Soraka following. Maybe the disconnect was a clever use of bait, but the Cho'Gath getting dropped in the tower, and the Lee Sin now going down. Ezreal has to escape, but he's not going to as the big rockets just come down. Will he Valkyrie into this? And he will. And just missing Ezreal as Ezreal goes into the Golem camp. Oh my. Good plays by Ezreal, not the best plays by the rest of his team. As their mid lane now will just get pushed in, they can get 2 inhibitors out of this as the respawn timer is just ridiculously low. Pick up this middle inhibitor.
I think that at this point they think they're gonna go ahead and push for the win here. They might be able to get it, Ezreal can defend, but I'm pretty sure that this is probably going to be the end of it.
This looks like it's the game as both Nexus starts to go down. They're on the Nexus right now. And the GGs go down.
Alright, so no risk for Biscuit. Taking the first match of the tournament here in a very impressive showing by both teams.
What a turnaround. But like we said, it was all about that late game. As soon as it seemed to hit that, that 32-minute mark instead of not